Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of weekview. I'm Alin and in today's video I'm going to explain how you plan a quarter with the help of a weekview timer. So let's go. But before we start, just a word about goals. When you plan, you have to have goals, of course. And quarterly goals derive from yearly goals, and yearly goals in turn derive from life goals. So that sounds big, doesn't it? Life goals, that's an intriguing topic, which I don't have to expound on in this video, but I just want to pick 3 different life goals and derive yearly goals and quarterly goals, just as an example. You can fill in your own life goals here. So let's get started. This is the overview page with which you can just lay down your life goals and yearly goals. And as an example, for a personal goal, I just wrote, I want to climb a 6,000 feet mountain at age 80. So that's a health and fitness goal. And the domain of family and friends, I picked this one. I want my kids to say that I was an example for them. And finally, the work arena, I want to have published 1 book in each domain of my field. So I'm not going to comment on these, but go on to the yearly goals. So in the personal arena, you gotta just concretize things from the life goals to the yearly level. And I did it this way: work out 3 times a week and sleep 7.5 hours regularly. Family and friends arena, I formulated this like this: I want my words and deeds to be congruent. And in the field of work, as follows: I want the outline for my PhD thesis to be finished. Alright, so if you consider these 3 goals, you'll see some differences instantly. The only classical goal is this one. This one is a SMART goal. So SMART, that's an acronym for specific, measurable, attractive, realistic, and time sensitive. So this one is specific, it's attractive, hopefully, it's measurable, it's realistic, and it has a deadline, right? This one here is specific, but it doesn't have a deadline, all right? So that's something that you do reiteratively. You do it, each week, each month, whatever. So there's no deadline for that. And this one in the middle is neither specific nor is it time sensitive. It's a resolution, and resolutions are important as well, like goals. And how you deal with resolutions, I'm going to tell you in a minute. All right. So after you have fixed your yearly goals, you can go on to break them down into quarterly goals. And therefore you have this quarterly plans overview page. So I just took over the goals from the yearly arena into the quarterly one. And now you gotta think how you can break down those yearly goals into manageable quarterly goals. For the work one, I said, well, okay, I'm going to write some essays in order to learn about the most important questions in my field. And maybe I just thought it's realistic to write 6 essays per quarter. Here, I want to just give you a tip. Don't do too much. Don't overload yourself. Do just a little less and keep some space, keep some air. So when you manage to do what you've envisaged, you gotta be much more motivated, and there's a chance you do even more, and that motivates you even more. So it's never good to do too much or to try to do too much and then fail. That creates a sense of failure. But to do less, okay? The personal level, I just copied the goal here because there's nothing to break down. And the family and friends resolution, I just took it over one by one, because that's something you just have to drag from week to week, because it's important to have it on your radar. So there's nothing you can do with a deadline, all right? But you just have to have it in front of your eyes, and that creates a sense of responsibility, and you're much more likely to go through with it. But there's also a possibility to concretize things with resolutions, as you will see in a minute. All right, so now you can begin to break down those quarterly goals into weekly ones, because finally, if we don't manage that, those quarterly goals just remain somewhere in abeyance. They're just too remote to be followed through. Well, let's say 5 essays in this quarter. So you got to now just figure out how much time does one essay take, and let's say it takes 2 weeks. All right. So what you're gonna do in writing one essay? First, you got to talk to your professor and find out what topic you write on. Then you got to read some literature, and then you write it. Okay. So basically, you have 1 week of writing and 1 week of reading. So the first week is the week of reading. Excuse me. And also in this first week, you got to talk to your prof. So you got those little symbols here, which help you just have on your radar which items you have to heed. And in this case, it's a conversation, right? So you put the conversation right here. Okay. And in the second week for this first essay, you just got to finish it by writing it. So there's this deadline symbol here. Okay. The same with the next 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks, and so forth until you have 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one. Okay, and then you got some space here in the back, which helps you fill in. If you have more time, you can do one more essay, or just take 2 weeks off, or whatever. In any case, it's better to have that than to cram the whole quarter full of tasks which you don't manage to do them all. Okay, and with these tasks laid down, you can go into your weekly overview and just lay them down. If you know that there's a talk to your prof due, then you put this as a prio A. Okay, and likewise to read the literature. Okay, and likewise with the other weeks. Now let's go to the next arena, which is family life. Well, there's this resolution here. In this case, I think there's the possibility to concretize it a little bit by saying, well, I want to be congruent, I want to be an integral person, but I also want to learn if I succeed in doing that, and therefore for that I have to talk to my to the people around me, my family, my spouse, my kids, my friends. So feedback talks could be one good thing to schedule. So let's say a realistic thing is to have one feedback talk per month. So you put one here, you put one here, and you put one here. All right. So you got three of them in this quarter. And the last arena, it's a personal one. You want to work out 3 times a week. It's always good to have a plan for that. So sometime you got to write a training plan, and of course it's best to do that right at the outset. That is the first week of the quarter. So there's a deadline to do that. Okay. And then you can, based on that training plan, you can just schedule your sports activities. Okay, so I hope that helped you concretize things and get your head around how to plan your quarter. If it helped you, if you liked it, just give us a thumbs up, or even better, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I'm Alin.